Welcome to our pronunciation tutorial. Today, we focus on the R sound in American English, a crucial step to sounding like a native speaker, and a common challenge for many. The R sound is a vital part of the English language, and mastering it can significantly enhance your pronunciation skills, making you sound more fluent and confident. Let's begin by understanding the challenge. In the Korean language, the R sound is often pronounced like an L sound, which can lead to confusion when speaking English. Many Korean learners find it difficult to pronounce the correct R sound in American English. It's a common struggle, but don't worry, we're here to help you overcome it. The R sound in American English is a voiced retroflex approximant, a fancy term for a sound made by raising the back of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth, but not touching it. You can feel this position by placing your hand on your throat as you pronounce the sound. It's a unique sensation, and a little practice will help you get the hang of it. Now here are some quick tips. When pronouncing the R sound, keep the back of your tongue near the roof of your mouth, but not touching it. Keep your lips relaxed, unlike the tensed position often used for the L sound in Korean. And finally, produce a slight vibration from your vocal cords as you make the sound. Remember, practice is key. Start by practicing words with similar R and L sounds like right and light. Try more challenging tongue twisters to improve your pronunciation, and don't forget to record yourself. Listening to your own pronunciation can help you identify areas for improvement. But be careful not to overpronounce the R sound. It should be quick and simple, and be mindful not to slip back into pronouncing it as the Korean L sound. Online resources, courses, and YouTube videos dedicated to improving English pronunciation can be very helpful. Use them to further develop your R sound. Mastering the American R sound requires time and practice. Be patient, keep practicing, and you'll be one step closer to sounding like a native speaker. Stay tuned as we break down the R sound into manageable steps. The R sound in American English is a voiced retroflex approximant, produced by raising the back of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth without touching it. Let's explore this a bit more. The R sound is unique in its formation. It's not about the lips or the teeth, but rather, it's all about the tongue. You see, the key to nailing the R sound lies in the position of your tongue. The back of your tongue should be raised high in your mouth, but without touching the roof. It's a bit like a high jump. You want to get as close to the bar as possible without knocking it off. Now, if you're wondering how to check if your tongue is in the right place, here's a handy tip. Use your hand to feel the position of your tongue. Don't worry, it won't bite. As you make the R sound, try to feel the back of your tongue elevating in your mouth. It's like a little tongue workout, if you will. The R sound is also unique in its pronunciation. Unlike many sounds in English, the R sound doesn't involve the tongue touching any part of the mouth. This is what we call an approximant. It's a sound that's made by narrowing the vocal tract, but without the tongue making a complete closure. So when you're making the R sound, make sure your tongue isn't touching the roof of your mouth or your teeth. Here's another way to think about it. Imagine you're sipping a really hot cup of coffee. You wouldn't press your tongue against the roof of your mouth, would you? Instead, you'd raise your tongue to allow the coffee to flow into your mouth. That's the exact position your tongue should be in when making the R sound. Remember, it's all about the position and movement of your tongue. Practice this sound in isolation first, and then try it in words and sentences. And don't forget to be patient with yourself. Perfecting the R sound takes a little bit of time and a lot of practice. But with persistence, you'll get there. Here are some tips to help you make the R sound. Let's start with the position of your tongue. For the American R, you want to raise the back of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth, but without touching it. This creates a small pocket of air that will resonate with your voice, giving the R its unique sound. Try feeling the position of your tongue with your hand while you practice this sound. Next, let's talk about your lips. Unlike the Korean L sound, your lips should be relaxed when you pronounce the American R. Think of it as a casual conversation with a friend, not a formal speech. There's no need to stress or strain your lips. Keep them loose and relaxed. Now, onto the vocal cords. When you produce the R sound, there should be a slight vibration in your vocal cords. This is what gives the R its characteristic buzz. You may not feel this vibration at first, but with practice, it will become more noticeable. So, to recap, Raise the back of your tongue, relax your lips, and let your vocal cords vibrate. But remember, these are just guidelines. Every person's mouth and vocal cords are unique, so feel free to adjust these tips to what feels most comfortable for you. And lastly, practice. Practice, practice, practice. The R sound might feel strange and unnatural at first, but the more you practice, the easier it will become. Try repeating words with the R sound, like right, rain, and rose. Recording yourself can also be a great way to track your progress. By listening back to your recordings, you can identify areas where you may need more practice. And don't forget, there are many online resources available to help you master the American R sound, including courses, YouTube videos, and even language exchange apps where you can practice speaking with native English speakers. These tips should help you get the R sound just right. The journey to sounding like a native English speaker may be long, but with patience and practice, you'll get there. Remember, the key to mastering any new skill is persistence. So keep practicing, and soon, the R sound will be just another part of your English speaking skills. Practice is key when it comes to mastering the R sound. The more you practice, the more familiar your mouth and tongue become with the positions they need to be in to produce the sound accurately. A great starting point is to practice words that have similar R and L sounds. Words such as right and light can highlight the subtle but crucial differences between the two sounds. Try saying these words slowly, paying close attention to how your tongue moves and where it touches the roof of your mouth. To challenge yourself further, try some tongue twisters. These are sentences designed to be difficult to articulate properly, and they can be a fun and effective way to improve your pronunciation skills. Here's one to start with. Red lorry, yellow lorry. It might seem tough at first, but remember, it's all about practice. Another helpful tool to improve your R sound is recording yourself. Record your practice sessions and play them back. Listen carefully to your pronunciation. Does the R sound like an R, or does it sound more like an L? By listening to your own pronunciation, you can identify areas that need improvement and monitor your progress over time. You can also compare your recordings to those of native speakers. There are plenty of resources online where you can listen to native speakers pronounce the words you're practicing. This can provide a reference point for how the R sound should sound. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are a great way to learn. When you make a mistake, you have the opportunity to correct it and improve. So don't be discouraged if you don't get it right the first time. Keep practicing and you will get there. With consistent practice, you will see improvement in your pronunciation of the R sound. It might take some time and a lot of practice, but the effort will be worth it when you can confidently and accurately pronounce the R sound. So keep practicing and you will see improvement. There are a few common mistakes to avoid when practicing the R sound. Let's dive into it, shall we? The first pitfall to watch out for is overpronunciation. This is a common issue, especially when we're trying to master a new sound. The R in American English can be quite subtle and quick. It's not a grand, rolling R that requires a lot of effort. It's more like a soft tap or a light flick of the tongue. So remember, less is more. Aim for a simple, fast R sound rather than an exaggerated one. Next, let's talk about the risk of reverting back to the Korean L sound. This is a common challenge for Korean speakers learning English, since the R and L sounds are quite similar in Korean. It's easy to fall back into old habits, especially when you're speaking quickly or not paying close attention. So it's important to stay mindful of this tendency. Paying close attention to the position of your tongue and the shape of your mouth can help you keep that R sound distinct from the L sound. And what about mixing up the R and L sounds? This is another common mistake. The R and L sounds are quite distinct in English, but they can sound similar to non-native speakers. To avoid this confusion, try practicing minimal pairs, words that differ only by the R and L sounds, like right and light. This can help you hear and produce the difference more clearly. Finally, don't forget that practice makes perfect. It's easy to get frustrated when you're learning something new. But remember that improvement takes time and patience. Keep practicing, keep listening, and don't be too hard on yourself. You're making progress, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Being aware of these common mistakes can help you avoid them and improve your pronunciation. Keep these potential pitfalls in mind as you continue practicing, and you'll be mastering the R sound in no time. There are many online resources, courses, and YouTube videos dedicated to improving English pronunciation. These platforms can be an invaluable tool in your journey to master the elusive R sound. They offer a range of materials for learners of all levels, from beginners who are just starting out to advanced speakers looking to perfect their pronunciation. Firstly, online resources provide a wealth of learning materials. From detailed articles and blog posts to interactive quizzes, these platforms offer a variety of ways to learn and practice. They often include audio clips and videos, allowing you to listen to native speakers and mimic their pronunciation. This can be particularly helpful for mastering the R sound, as it allows you to hear the sound in different contexts and words. Secondly, online courses offer a structured approach to learning. They provide a curriculum that guides you through the process of improving your pronunciation, often broken down into manageable chunks. This can be particularly useful if you prefer a more systematic approach to learning. Meanwhile, YouTube videos offer a more casual and often entertaining way to learn. Many content creators offer practical tips and tricks and demonstrate how to make the R sound. They also provide opportunities to practice along with them, making your learning experience more interactive. Lastly, online resources allow for flexibility. You can learn at your own pace, revisiting materials as often as you need. This means you can practice the R sound as much as you want, whenever you want. Remember though, that while these resources are helpful, they are not a substitute for consistent practice. The key to mastering the R sound, like any other aspect of language learning, lies in regular and repeated practice. So use these resources to supplement your learning, but remember to practice, practice, practice. In conclusion, the internet is filled with resources to assist you in your English pronunciation journey. Whether you prefer reading articles, taking online courses, or watching YouTube videos, there's something out there for everyone. Check out these resources for additional help and practice. Mastering the American R sound is a process that requires time and practice. It's not something that will come overnight, but with patience and consistent practice, you'll begin to see improvements. Remember, the key is in the position of your tongue, the relaxed state of your lips, and a slight vibration from your vocal cords. Try not to get discouraged if you find it challenging at first. It's a common struggle for many Korean speakers learning English, and you're not alone in this journey. There are plenty of online resources available to help you, including courses and YouTube videos dedicated to improving English pronunciation. Most importantly, enjoy the process. Learning a new language is an adventure, an opportunity to explore a whole new world of communication. Keep practicing and you'll be one step closer to sounding like a native speaker. Thank you for joining us today. We hope this tutorial aids you on your journey to perfect American English pronunciation. Enjoy your journey to becoming a confident English speaker.